G'day everyone, this is Ishan, and this is a little appreciation video from my end. So last night, something really amazing happened. I was invited to the academic gala night dinner. It was an awards night where a lot of academics and a lot of students were awarded for their achievements. So particularly from the academia, there were two awards given, one for the best teacher, the teaching award, and the other one for a research supervisor. So I'm not a supervisor yet, but I was nominated in the teaching award. And guess what? I won. So here we go. That's my plaque, my beautiful plaque that I received. And my name's right here. Well, unfortunately, I haven't completed my PhD at the moment, so it doesn't say doctor, but very soon I will be completing my PhD as well. So here you go. Yay! So very happy with in winning this particular award. As it is said, with powers and awards, your responsibilities and your expectations people have from you also increase. So I'm definitely aware of that, and I'm keeping my feet grounded as much as possible. My family has taught me to remain humble, and I always work on those principles. I feel remaining humble, knowing your weak points and knowing how you could contribute to the society better and better makes you a better person. I also believe in constant evolution through learning. So everything that I've learned, all my teaching approaches have been actually adapted by me. I've learned those, I've evolved as a person right from my childhood to present day. I observe people, and I try to see which person is impressive in what particular manner. How do other people get inspired from a certain leader, and what traits of that leader were the ones that people found very attractive. So I try to learn those traits, and I try to mimic them at times as well, apart from my own independent style, of course. In acting, you could call it improvisation, isn't it? So that's what I try to do. I try to add improvisation to my teaching methods as well. Since childhood till now, even at university level, I have had some amazing academics. I've had amazing teachers and lecturers, some private tutors as well. Each of them had their own unique style. Each of them had a particular positive attitude, some special trait, some special teaching technique, which I always found very impressive and attractive. And I felt if I'm getting impressed by that particular lecturer or teacher because of that certain quality or skill or technique, my students would be pretty impressed by me as well if I mimic the same. So I don't just mimic it, I try to modify it, I try to customize it and personalize it to my own classroom, to my own personality, and of course through a lot of thinking and research, I come up with my own independent and original teaching styles as well. I'm absolutely thankful to all my lecturers till date, especially the ones that stood out. The list will go on if I name them, but every one of them has had an impact on my teaching style today, and they have been an inspiration for me. But the two people that really stand out and who have inspired me the most in my teaching style are my mom and dad, my Ammi and Baba. When I was a kid, right from my childhood, I've observed how Ammi used to teach children with special needs. So she used to conduct special tutorials free of cost for students or for children, school kids or college university students who were struggling, but not because of, well, it wasn't just a struggle. There were different categories, of course. She was teaching students who were struggling financially and used to get fatigued and didn't have enough time to focus on their education. So she used to come up with some interesting ways to keep them motivated. But the best part that I really find that touched my life was the way she would handle children with special needs. Now my mom, my Ammi, used to teach students with special needs, and the way she used to approach them. See, teaching kids with special needs is definitely a difficult task. It's very challenging, and it's not anyone's piece of cake. My mom used to be I learned two virtues from her teaching style. I would simply name them. One was patience and one was creativity. You need to be very patient when you're teaching. You cannot lose your temper or your temperament. You cannot lose patience or hope in your student if they just cannot grasp the particular topic. So patience was a virtue I really learned from my Ammi. Apart from patience, changing the teaching style, modifying the teaching, simplifying the concepts at a very ground level to make anyone understand it. So that is something I learned from her. Every time I try to be patient, every time I try to simplify the concepts as much as possible, because I believe you have books and you have literature that would talk about the actual definitions of the concepts, and they would talk about the essence of the concept. Not the essence, they would talk about the concept in as much detail as possible. But it is my duty to simplify it and talk about the essence of the particular concept. And that's what I've learned from my Ammi, and I'm really thankful to her for giving me this life skill. The second person I'm extremely thankful to is my dad, my Baba. I call him Babulia. So Babulia has a knack to find an example in literally any and every object that he can see around. If you show him a table or a chair or a fireplace in a store, or if you show him a computer, or you literally have a food item in your hand, or it could be very complex as well. Of course, I'm talking about simple items. He can find an example, he can relate those objects, he can relate people's actions to day-to-day events, he can relate those to theories, he can relate those to business or science concepts. I just love that skill he has. He is a person full of examples, and that is something I've learned from him. That is something that has inspired me. This skill of my Baba has inspired me to use real-world examples in my teaching style. So in my classrooms, I usually ask my students to do the homework. I tell them to read the concepts, to read the theories, because I don't like to spoon feed them. But after they have read the concepts, it's not necessary that they've understood the concepts. So what I do in the classroom is I try to bring in real-world examples as much as possible, and not complicated examples that would just sound impressive. I bring in examples, those are relevant to the life of my audience. So if I'm teaching master students, I would use different examples compared to my bachelor students. When I teach for special block units, so block units over here are for professionals who would get 1 week or 10 days off from their workplace to advance their skills. So these classes run, the entire semester runs in just 10 days. It's packed, it's jam-packed. We start teaching at 8 o'clock, we finish teaching at 7 p.m., and this goes non-stop for 10 days. So the entire subject is cramped into a block unit, a block mode. So for such professionals, I use different examples because I try to relate to what's happening in their life. So these skills that I've acquired and the techniques that I've implemented in my teaching style are a result of my observation and my upbringing from my Ammi and Baba. So I'm really thankful to them forever, and I'm forever grateful to them. So thank you guys. Thank you for being patient and listening to this little appreciation video in which I'm really thanking and I'm grateful to people who have touched my life. I hope that I can continue on this journey to be in being a good lecturer, and I hope that I too am able to touch a few lives. If I'm able to do that, I would have done justice to the upbringing that I've received from my mom and dad. So thank you very much, and love to my mom and dad, Ammi and Baba. See you guys.